The publishing world of the 1860s found an entirely new audience interested in pulp fiction.
I can't afford to starve on praise when rubbishy tales are written in half the time.
Louisa wrote thrillers, what she called blood and thunder tales. Few people in her lifetime knew that they were the product of her pen.
She could write 7, 8 in a year and earn a fair amount of money.
I think my natural ambition is for the lurid style.
She allows herself to talk about doing things that are not respectable. The most famous of her thrillers is Behind a Mask, in which Jean Muir realizes that she's getting too old to play the femme fatale as an actress.
Come. The curtain is down, so I may be myself. If actresses ever are themselves.
So she goes as a governess to a very respectable family with the avowed intention of making some young man in that family fall in love with her and propose marriage.
I'll not fail if there's power in a woman's wit and will.
She allows herself to talk about the passion for revenge, for jealousy, the darker side of human nature.
I indulge in gorgeous fancies. An animated flame of fire seemed to dart into the room. Supple, sinewy, and slight was the threatening figure.
Go,
he said, with an air of command.
While I go fling this body into the river. Destroy all traces of the deed.
Louisa wrote her stories either anonymously or under another name because proper young women did not publish in these magazines.
She once said, "What would Mr. Emerson think?" or "My dear father."
She allows herself to escape a genteel cage and talk about women's sexual passions.
Rose St. Just was as beautiful as her Spanish mother, but had inherited the pride of her English father. I am mad, for I too have taken hashish. I had hoped it would make me soft and lovable like other women. I'm tired of being a lonely statue. He stretched his hand to her and said ardently, "Heaven bless hashish if its dreams end like this."
After Louisa died, the thrillers were basically forgotten.
There were in Alcott's journals references to particular stories that we could never find.
Many decades after her death, they were rediscovered.
Leona Rostenberg and Madeline B. Stern uncovered a correspondence between Louisa May Alcott and her publisher.
We are called literary sleuths because we are literary sleuths. I was working on a biography of Louisa May Alcott some 50 years ago.
I pulled out a dossier, so tied together with a string, and I nearly staggered. The first letter was addressed to Miss Alcott from James R. Elliott, editor of the Flag of Our Union, Boston. And in it, he stated that he wished any one of her stories written under her pseudonym, A.M. Barnard, such as your recent story,
Behind a Mask.
Behind a Mask. And he wished for more stories. Well, I must say that silence prevailed in Houghton Library. It's a very sacred spot of research. I let out a yell and shook the room.
More stories exist. There are clues in her journals still, titles that have not been located. It may be that Alcott's complete literary canon may never be finalized.
Money is the end and aim of my mercenary existence.
Money. Because the
More than money.
trash literature brought in more probably than good prose.
I object to trash literature. It's not trash. Definitely not trash.
Excuse me.